Hello and happy Sunday. I almost said Saturday. What day is it? Happy Sunday. Happy day, what am I? Day 12. I'm like, where is time? I have no idea. Happy day 12 of 14 days of following the energy. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end. Can you believe it? I've gone through daily lives of all sorts of different topics that just really light me up. Hello, happy Sunday to you. Welcome, welcome. How is your Sunday going? We are finally having some cooler weather here in Texas. And by cooler, I mean it's cooler in the mornings. So I get the sense it's starting to feel like fall, and I just love it. I just love it. I have long sleeves on, although I'm already warm, but that's fine. That's fine. All right, so today we are talking about choice and taking action. Taking messy action. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday from the Netherlands. Amazing. What a gift of social media, being able to connect with people all around the world. Going awesome. I love it. Yeah, there's definitely a lighter energy today. Perhaps it's connected to Mercury retrograde ending. Look, I get that we don't have to be at effect of the planets, and I just perceive it's like pushing a boulder uphill during these times, or just more intensity, density. Hello, hello from Spain. Amazing. So there's something freeing now. Hello from India. Wow, all over the place. So it feels good. The energy feels good. So I'm like, let's ride this. What are we going to talk about today? At first, I wasn't totally sure. I had a plan for most of the days, and then I like to follow the energy, and choice is really popping. So I want to talk about that because that's certainly up in my world and how it looks in life and in business specifically, because entrepreneurship has been such an amazing facilitation for me. I thought I had done the mental health work, the wellness work, the healing, the transformation, and then entrepreneurship came and I chose it, and wow, so much more to uncover. Just the layers keep coming. And, I had heard this idea of choice before, and, choosing creates awareness. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? And I'm really starting to get how much I had functioned from tell me how to do it and I will do it. Show me how. I just want to get it right. Show me how. And I function that way very much in entrepreneurship, where like learning from a lot of different people and, seeing what other folks are choosing with sales and marketing and strategy, if you will, and choosing all those different things and then trying them on for size, so to speak. Are you resonating? Is this going on for you? Trying things on for size to see, well, maybe this will work. Well, maybe this will work. Well, they're doing a course. Well, they're offering one-on-one. Well, they're offering group. Well, they're selling it by doing this, and they're selling it by stories. They're selling it by this and that. And it's just like, I have done all the things. And it's really interesting because anytime I try to replicate what I did before, it doesn't do the thing. Like, wait, but you did that the last time. You might be hearing my dryer. It sings like a minute-long song when it's done. I'm not sure if I can reprogram that. It's like the really pretty Samsung ones, and I love them, but it's like, it's a vibe. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. It's almost done. So I was looking at, okay, well, every time I try to replicate something, well, it should do the thing. I go to conclusion. It should do the thing. It should work, right? This sold a bunch of things last time, so it should work. And then I do it again, and it's a different energy. You just can't. You can't even replicate how you did things again. So for what purpose do you look to others for how they do it? This is the thing you got to get. It's like not about the how, it's what you be and what you are choosing in the moment. Persistently choosing, regardless of what is showing up in front of you. Because if you are on this journey and looking to, well, I have to be motivated by whatever's happening in front of me, by the results I'm getting. I'll only show up if I'm getting results. Well, then you will crash and burn very quickly. And what a skill to be able to train ourselves to be, I don't want to say happy, but even like neutral or less at effect of everything that's going on outside of us. And I really understood this initially from Dr. Joe Dispenza, where he talks a lot about, being able to be the new version of you, but you have to become it, right? Like in the morning, start to retrain your brain before you start to remember who you currently are and start to kind of function like that. Because it's like if we're constantly reflecting back our reality, regurgitating back our reality to ourselves, we just stay stuck. We stay stuck. So it's like, well, okay, so what could I choose here? If this isn't doing the thing, then what else could I choose? What else could I choose? Because I'm seeing how I can be very methodical or wanting to do things in a nice, controlled, neat manner. Anyone else control freaks out there? Let me know. Are you holding on too tight to try to get things to do the thing you want? Versus just allowing yourself to choose and be and take a lot of messy action, as they say, so to speak. The messy action. Like, I'm getting it, but I don't totally get that. And what I mean by that is I'm starting to get it at these like kind of microscopic levels, like I'm feeling it in my body, but it's like, I don't get that I'm like the full embodiment of that yet, of the like full on messy action. Like I can see where I go into some resistance to just choosing it. Well, what are they going to think? What, just even micro things, which is so interesting. Wow, I was just journaling about the feeling of stuck. Yeah, and so anytime that we are stuck, we're refusing to choose something. This is why the choice is so relevant. We're refusing to choose something because energy is never actually stuck. Energy is always moving. And it actually takes a lot of resistance on our part to slow it down, to get it to stick and get dense. And so what would it take for you to let go and choose? And I get that that can sound really abstract or vague. It's like, what is she talking about? When I'm asking questions like that, I'm seeking to get you out of judgment, unstick you, and open up possibilities to choose something else, to choose the thing you've been resisting. It might be a state of being, like showing up a certain way. It might be more pragmatic, like actually putting the link in your bio for people to pay you, right? It could be something as simple as that. But what is it that you're resisting choosing that you know will get you to the next step? I'd love to hear from folks. Where are you at? What are you stuck with specifically? What are you resisting choosing that you're clear or you're vaguely clear that that is the next step for you, but yet it's like, oh, I can't choose that for whatever reason. And that will slow you down. It will slow you down, which is fine, right? We can go at the pace we want. Sometimes I'm like, why are things taking so long? And going into that energy, it's like, well, okay, how helpful is that? No, not helpful. It's like sometimes things just take what they take. And so if we are willing to put our attention to what will create greater and continuing to choose rather than saying, well, I'll only do this if it happens in this time. It all needs to happen within this time. Universe, it needs to happen this week. Universe, show me now. It's like, would you be willing to allow the time that it takes and just continue to show up? Continue to choose. No matter what. And that's it, because if you're constantly looking outside of you for the reinforcement, we constantly are disappointed. Because what's outside of you is literally just reflecting back to you the state you be right now. So if you're feeling good about things, then you're going to actually look for the things that are going well. And if you're feeling crappy, you're going to look for the things to reinforce the crappiness. So it's like, for what purpose are you looking outside of yourself versus looking to cultivate, putting your attention to where you're going, and then continuing to choose? What keeps you stuck from choosing? What stops you from choosing? For a lot of people, it can be just fear of what others are going to say. Are they going to judge me? What are they going to say about me? Am I going to get a hater? And you know the old adage, no matter what you choose, someone will be not liking it. Overwhelm, too many options. Yeah, when did I do overwhelm? Day 2. I would definitely listen to that one if you haven't. Check it out again, because there's something about, we're like, well, let me make sure I get the right option. That's where it's coming from. I need to get it right. And we are whelmed, we are inundated with tons of options. And even research from psychology will say that we're actually less satisfied when we have more options. Because it's like, well, what about that one? What about that? What I could have chose, right? So many choices. And so if we can get to a place of following energy versus right, wrong, that will make it so much easier. That will make it 100 times easier. To the way you explain overwhelm, it's like I have so much access to information at all times. Exactly. Yes, exactly. It's like you're just perceiving so much possibility. Which, how does it get better than that you are so aware? And then it's like, what do I do with that awareness? What do I choose? And when we go into the freeze of what do I choose, I'm focused on trying to get it right. Because if you weren't worried about that, you would just choose something. Oh, I'll just choose this, or I could choose that, or I could choose this. We just want to get it right. And that's functioning from a reality that doesn't even exist. It's made up what is right. It's perspective what is right. So what if instead you shifted to what is light? Light, expansive possibilities. Because that is functioning from this idea of a yes, no. It's not personal, just yes, no, universe, versus right, wrong. Do you feel the heaviness and the difference there? There's a huge difference. And the yes, no, it's very much just, I'm aware. This choice is going to create greater. Cool, let's go. What will that create? And I can tell you that pretty much every time I choose something, I receive something different than I expected. Like every time. So what if you got out of expectation with it? Because our projections and our expectations muck up the energy. Analysis paralysis. Yes, right? Because it's like we're focusing on trying to get it right, judgment. We're putting ourselves into a freeze response, trauma response, micro, freeze trauma response. Or I need to get it right. I don't know what to choose. I can't choose. And then people just sit there. So what if you were just willing to get it wrong? That's the antidote. I get this is going to be a really helpful call to re-listen to, because I'm breaking this down like to the micro step by step. The antidote is to be willing to get it wrong. So we're wanting to get it right and resisting being wrong. So then we refuse to choose. Versus if we were willing to be wrong, then we would just choose. And we would move much faster. It's always amazing to me how easy choice is when I step outside of the fears and judgment and just focus on the inner knowing. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. And are you aware of how it's like, you almost get like these like windows of opportunity where you're, oh wow, okay, I'm like in this space of not fear and not judgment. I could just choose. Okay, go. And then it's like, oh wait, I'm back in the real world again. I'm back in the house of judgment. And it's kind of interesting. Like that's how I perceive the awareness, where it's like, I sense the periods of time where it's like a window of, wow, I'm just being me and I'm not perceiving or I'm not putting attention to all the fear and judgment. And then there's other times to like be at effect of the energy and kind of get, that's the leaf in the wind idea of where the energy just kind of takes over and you're all in that. So for what purpose are you resisting choosing? For what purpose are you refusing to be wrong here? Does it mean you're not valuable, not worthy? Because what if you didn't function as if right or wrong didn't exist? I tried a new eyeliner, but I don't know if it's a little smudgy. What if you didn't function as if like it existed and you just function from that more neutral state? And that's what we're seeking to cultivate. And you're always going to be aware of judgment because so many people are unconsciously functioning from judgment constantly. And so you will tap into that. You'll be aware of that. And what would it take for you to outcreate it and be the dominant energy of space, of the neutrality? Focus on my journal session today was judgments, expectations, and criticism. And we touched on all three. Feeling so beautifully aligned right now. I had to share. Oh, thank you. I really do appreciate you sharing that, because I love the synchronicities of those things where it's like you put it out there and then here it is. It is the energy that's up, clearly. That's up. And judgments, expectations, projections, all those things just contract us and stop us from choosing. So, thank you so much. So, what could you choose here? What are you refusing to choose? What is your next step? It could be really simple. Is it putting yourself out there more? Is it posting that thing that you have resisted posting, that you have in your drafts? Is it setting a boundary with someone? Is it limiting how much access people have to you? What is it? Is it going live? Is it in your personal life? Is it in your business life? What is it? And what would it create if you chose it? Do you see how these questions create space in your world? How now all of a sudden you're dwelling in the possibilities of what else you could choose? And you're more grounded in your body? That's when you're tapping into the energy versus into the swirl of the ego that's like right, wrong, good, bad, choose this, choose that, don't choose this, don't choose that. And that's what it is. It's that simple. And it's, to me, I'm just looking at, okay, what would it take to amp it up? To amp up, I don't say like chaos, but like to amp up the creation energy of willing to take more messy action Just choose. What will this create? What will this create? What will this create? What will this create? Because then you will get more data that will speed you up. And it's the thing, we think, well, I can't choose that unless I know it's going to be the right thing, because I can't make a mistake, because then it's going to cost this and that's going to slow me down. And it's like, actually, the choosing will speed you up. The choosing gives you the information. The choosing gives you the awareness. And so would you be willing to leap? Now, this is where we do need to regulate our nervous systems enough to lean into that edge, to stretch that edge that we're comfortable with. So what could you do to create that internal sense of safety, right? Because the idea of safety, it's really just calming our nervous systems enough so that I can push myself to stretch the limits and choose something that does activate me a bit, right? Because it has me nervous, anxious, excited, all the things. And in order to choose that, I have to be regulated to some degree so I don't go over the edge and go into shutdown. Right? So it's like the internal safety. It's not that it's dangerous for me out here. It's just like my body is perceiving it that way. So what would it take to ground my energy? And what is that for you? That's going to support you being able to choose that next thing. Breath work, tapping, dance it out, hot yoga. What is it for you? Those practices are so simple, yet so potent, especially when persistently chosen. What other questions do you have about choice, expectations, rejections, judgments? That judgment one comes up with, I would say, like almost every call I do, every topic, because it informs all of it. And when we can start to train ourselves to really function from that place of awareness, in the sense of, okay, do I have judgment here? Am I aware of somebody else's judgment? What is this? What else could I choose? If I wasn't functioning from judgment, what would I choose? Because I get that it's not like we're going to 86 judgment altogether. Because you're aware. And there are a lot of people that do judgment. Even conscious people. Lots of conscious spiritual people still do judgment. Healers do judgment. And so it actually takes a lot of presence and awareness to be tuned in to when we're functioning from it, and making the demand of ourselves to choose something else. It's a lot of unraveling to do. And I guess that's the point, right? We never get it done, so we're always working on it. There's always more to choose. So I would just encourage you today to look at, where am I resisting being wrong? Where am I resisting being wrong? And what would it create if I was willing to be wrong? Whatever point of view they have about it, what would that create? That was day 12. So we have 2 more days. What will we talk about? We'll see. I'll see what that energy pings me. Friendly reminder, Activate doors are open right now till Wednesday, till we start again for our new program, which is Let Your Biz Tell You What to Do. And I know that's kind of odd. People are like, what do you mean by that? What does that even mean? And what I'm teaching folks is energy fluency with your business. Energy fluency with your business, so that you can connect with your business, get out of the overwhelm, and be able to choose what's going to create the greatest next. Choose what's light, not what's right, what's light. Not how other people are doing it, not what other people are telling you what to do. Communicate so that you know what to choose next. Because it's like, it's not about strategy and all this stuff. It's about being able to follow that information that you're getting, that inspired ping, and choose that and show up, and choose that and show up, and choose that and show up, and over and over and over again. So that is what we're talking about in Activate. The masterclass for the month. So I do a program and a masterclass. So in Activate, you get the program and the masterclass. And the masterclass is forget scary, be scared. No, forget scared, be scary. No. And it is about you being the energetic boundary, being it. It's a little bit different than just stating boundaries. It's you being it and owning it. So we have a spectrum of energies here, with you being the dominating energy, being the energy, and then also submitting to your business and allowing your business to contribute to you. So I'm really curious where it will all go. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a fun month. We already have some fabulous people that are creating some really unique, amazing things in Activate. So what would it create for you to choose that, to create that? It is a minimum 6 month commitment, because I want folks to, when they choose, to choose it, to have their own backs, to show that you can continue to show up, to be persistent. So that's why it's that length of time. And there are payment plans. You can do a monthly payment plan or pay in full, whatever works for you. We're going to start Wednesday with that. And if you are feeling pinged to, Janine, I just want like a taste of the calls or something, I got you. So there is a bundle of these September calls. So the program of Get Seen on Social we did, and the masterclass Obliterating Doubt. There's a bundle of calls, and that is 50% off until tonight. Tonight, there's a code SAVE50. So it's like you're either on here or you're on my stories to get this information. Save 50 until tonight, midnight. And that bundle will be not on sale anymore. And people will ask me for the code, and I will say, it's over. It's over. Choose. If you're aware and it pings you, choose. Right? Because you always know. You always know. Just tapping into the energy is the thing. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And what would that create for you to function at that speed? So the taster's there if you're being pinged, especially because once you start in Activate, you get all the previous masterclasses and portal, but not the previous program. So if you're really wanting September, the Get Seen, that would be in the bundle tonight with the code. It'll be on sale later in my shop. My shop will be opening pretty soon. But for now, if you want 50% off, just saying. All right, y'all. I will be back tomorrow with more. We'll see where we go. Thanks for joining me. Bye.